small. But you're a funny man. I have a good sense of humor, and that's what we need more in this country right now, I'll tell you, is a good sense of humor and people to kind of get along, because quite frankly, we're Americans first. And I say that because we're Americans first, whether it's regardless of your political ideology, where you are on the economic scale, where you live, what state, what part of the country, etc. We're Americans first. And when we act like Americans first, we have the ability to do it better than any other country in the world. And as we have seen after 9/11, we had all the senators and congressmen up at the Capitol. They were arm in arm saying, never again is this going to happen. We're going to do A, B, C, and D and push back and make sure that the enemy is not going to be able to hurt us or our families ever again. And I got to be honest with you, been a little disgusted as to what's been going on, and I hope that we get that feeling of America first back very quickly. I'm pushing it down there. I know others are. There are people of goodwill in Congress, believe it or not. You wouldn't know it by all the media, but there are people of goodwill who care very deeply about our country. And I just wanted to say a couple of things. Michael, thank you for, where do you go?
Over here. In my wife.
Jeez, you're unbelievable. You're like Houdini. Well, you did a great job, really.
And my wife's going to
Donnelly as well. And obviously our Gold Star mothers and families, our Blue Star mothers and families, obviously the service and sacrifice that you're all making and continue to make is Herculean and heroic, and we're all deeply thankful. It's good to be back here in Medway. I've been to probably 20 or 30 events in this very room. Some I remember, some I don't. Oh, there's kids here, I'm sorry. But Robert, I have to respectfully disagree with your assessment as to what veterans get in this great state. Massachusetts, and I can tell you, having served in the legislature and being almost 32 years in the Army National Guard, between the welcome home bonus, $1,000 here, just show me you served, and another $500 when you come back, the educational benefits, the reemployment rights, the anti-discrimination, the Governor Romney and Governor Patrick, Lieutenant Governor Murray, and our support teams have done amazing work in Massachusetts, second to none. I'm telling you. Our veterans agents and the folks that actually are first line responders when our men and women come back, they do amazing work. And I can tell you that because I've seen it. I work with it on a daily basis. We have, I mean, Denny's right here. Denny's a veteran hard charge who works in my office, one of the first guys I hired to make sure that we understand the veterans issues and how important they are. Because I am on the Veterans Committee, and to say that we're not doing stuff, I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little bit, I'm not mad, but I'm a little surprised that you're not aware of what we're doing, because we're battling each and every day to try to make sure that we not only prepare the men and women with the tools and resources to go and fight and do their jobs and come home safely, but when they come back, to make sure we give our loving arms around them to give them the care and courtesy that they deserve. And yes, do people fall through the cracks? Absolutely. And when they do, I hear about it. And when I hear about it, we try to solve the problems. That's our job. That's my job as a high elected official, is to make sure that we can make sure that anybody that falls through the cracks gets that love and attention that they need. I was thankful and that the President was talking about the hiring of veterans. I filed back in February a Hire a Hero Act that provides tax benefits, because Guard and Reserve is 25%, folks, unemployment. We're at what, 7-something here? It's 25%. You have a high suicide rate. You have a lot of things happening with military servicemen and women and their families, and we need to be there. And just by you being here and everything you're doing, all the displays, all the the motorcyclists that show up at the events, and all of you Gold Star moms and families, you guys get it. I get it. We all get it. Now we have to take that message and bring it out and have other people, your friends, your neighbors, be that ground game to bring all that information out to the public, because some people apparently don't know what you do. I know what you do. I've seen exactly what you do, and you should meet with him and tell him what you do so he understands it. So here we are. We have, gosh, I went this morning to the Boston Common and met all the families, a lot of the families who were obviously affected by that tragic day. Went from there to the State House. went over there to Waltham. I can tell you something. I have never in a long, long time been so impressed by the amazing outpouring of love and concern and pride by the people that showed up in these events. It's really so special. And when I was in Afghanistan, a week ago, I can tell you, if anyone knows the people of the 26th Brigade, our men and women who are serving, they are getting accolades. You should be very, very proud of them. And the other Guard and Reservists that are here. When I was with General Hammond, who's a dear friend, a lot of the soldiers from Milford, and obviously speaking with General Allen, the commanding general, all they were talking about was what the 26th Brigade was doing. So trust me, they're working very, very hard. And you know, there's certain things that are very hopeful there. Very hopeful. Our young soldiers who have come back will tell you that if we do this withdrawal properly, we can leave Afghanistan and that surrounding area much better off, to the point where they'll be self-sufficient. We won't have to go back. They won't use that area to export terrorism throughout the region and the world, potentially move on Pakistan and get nuclear weapons. Then what? So if we do it right, it can go into the next decade where Afghanistan and that surrounding region can be self-sufficient. You know, we're almost there, folks. A lot of challenges, a lot of opportunities. You've seen last month, you know, in August was, I don't know what month it is. Yeah. I'm losing it. Yes, it's September. Thank you. Well, obviously, we've had last month was tragic with the amount of people we lost. You know, obviously SEAL Team 6 and you know, that whole situation. You know, we have families here that have felt that loss more than any one of us can imagine. But the good news is that we all care. We're here. We care. And when we stop caring, that's when I'm going to start to get worried. To be able to come here and drive down the street a few miles from my house and see all you here, you know, giving up at night. I know there's some football games on. I know that everyone's kind of, you know, anxious to start the week. I'm going to be leaving right after this. I still have all my gear actually thrown in the middle of the living room. My wife says, if it's not out of there by tonight, at 10 o'clock, it's going out in the trash. I said, honey, if you can pick it up, you can throw it out. That battle armor weighs like 80 pounds. But we've done a lot, contrary to what you just heard. Even the Arlington National Cemetery bill, as many of you know, some of our fallen soldiers, they're not even in the grave. You get 2 and 3 people in one grave. You get some people out in the mulch area. You know, and I found out about it. Senator McCaskill and I, we held a hearing on it. We held them accountable, filed a bill, got new management in there, and now they're x-raying, as you know, every single grave, accounting for every single soldier, taking them off cue cards and actually put them in a computer. God forbid they do it the right way. But we're challenging when we see there's a mistake. I'm going to JP tomorrow. I'm going to the Veterans Hospital. I'm going to check and see if, in fact, our soldiers are not getting the care that they deserve. I've been to Walter Reed. I see that what's happening there, the prosthetic treatment and the care and love that our soldiers are getting, something special. So here we are 10 years later. And all I can say is that we need to continue to be vigilant and diligent to make sure that the folks that want to kill us and change our way of life don't have that opportunity. Pretty simple. You know, we've got to adjust and adapt, keep them off guard. And being on armed services, homeland, veterans, you know, I get the briefings. And I can say that our first responders, our firemen and police and men and women that are serving from A to Z, Homeland Security, they are doing yeoman's work. And we need your help too, to be the eyes and ears. You see something that doesn't look right, report it. That's what they did in New York City. That's how they found it. So we need to all be together. So I just want to thank you for reaching out. I wanted to come and just say congrats and keep up the good work. And it's an honor to be here, honored to be your senator. Good to see a lot of familiar faces, and have a great night. So thank you very much.